Anyway, so the worst kept secret in the business debuted last night. We saw Chad Gable versus Penta, and my gosh, okay, before we even get into the match, first of all, his presentation.
Incredible. 10 out of 10.
I
10 out of
am
10.
pleasantly yes. So I first of all, the presentation in general, the spotlight on him, the song saying "Cero Miedo," fire. Okay, hit, like the music was actually not bad, which it's Def
I
Rebel
didn't
music.
hate it. I heard it before. It got leaked.
Oh really?
And I heard it before. And I was like, okay. And I think it's because their one in AEW was so good. Like
Oh,
the Lucha Brothers one.
uh-huh.
It's like I would listen to it to this day. But when you have that as a banger and coming into it's not WWE's problem, it's Def Rebel's problem.
Mm-hmm.
That's where it comes in. But because it's Penta, you don't care. Like wasn't I didn't care what was playing in the background. You know, it was the presentation of him walking out with the smoke, him doing the little cryptic
Oh my
walk
god.
that he does. Like,
So
you
my friend
know,
said it's like the Pink Panther. I was dying.
that's a good comparison. It's very Pink Panther-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's an aura that not a lot of guys who made their name outside of WWE could have
Mm-hmm.
coming into this new world that is
Yeah.
WWE. And especially now with Triple H in charge, you know, you're going to get the same version that was on the indies or in
Mm-hmm.
AEW before, but it's going to get an upgrade.
Yeah.
There's going to be an upgrade. Yeah, you may not be in the best story to start, but you're going to have your character be strongly protected.
Well, and I think what I was pleasantly surprised with was the crowd reaction, because obviously WWE fans get the label of being uninformed or uncultured in professional wrestling, because
They are.
people just slap this on them that, oh, all they do is watch WWE. They don't know about anybody outside of WWE. And this completely disproved that, at least in San Jose. Like,
It
I'm not.
silenced it. I would
Yeah.
say it silenced it. San Jose is a big crowd for them to know who Penta is, so they're in a good market for him
Yeah.
to debut. Better than Nebraska or somewhere in
Well, and
Arkansas.
I'm sure it was intentional. You know what
Very
I
much
mean?
intentional. That's
Yeah.
why Triple H knows ball.
Yeah.
But it's part of that, and you're right that there is a label, and it is for the most part true.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some that step outside and we'll watch DNA or
But
like.
I
Or
also
can I
think,
just mention that Lucha Underground got mentioned
I
last
know.
night? That's crazy, Sarah.
But see, I also think that, like, this in a way you can kind of give credit to AEW a little bit, because as long as TNA has been around, it's been a while since they had a program like on television that if you were flipping through the channels, you could, see it on TV.
It's not on
Um
Spike TV anymore, baby.
yeah, and
I
so
miss those
I
days.
think it's even if you are a WWE fan, like, you can be watching other television shows and any channel that is associated with Max or TBS or whatever, like,
Hmm.
you're gonna see a commercial for AEW. So as a WWE fan, you're still going to be exposed to the product that you don't watch. Like, you're not going out of your way to see it. So I think that um people who are not inclined to look at dirt sheets or on the internet and, like, kind of trying to dig and be like, okay, who is this person that they're teasing, um they probably have heard of the Lucha Brothers, or they have heard of Penta. So I think
Yeah.
you saw that, and I loved that he got such a pop. I loved to see his daughters, like, so emotional. um Also, because I think that shows, again, like, when people try to say people don't dream about going to WWE anymore, brother, shut the up. Yes, they do. You know what I
Of
mean?
course.
Like, because we're still in a generation where everybody that is still coming to WWE or like coming up training to be a wrestler, they grew up watching WWE. We are not in an era yet where they said, I grew up watching AEW and I wanted to be a wrestler because of AEW. Those people aren't old enough yet. Like, we're not there. So yes, I'm sure it was a huge deal for Penta and his family to like see him on Netflix in WWE in a singles match. Like, and
Kicking off the show essentially.
it was incredible. It was so good. There were no commercials. Like,
no commercial. They got time. They got a lot of time, Sarah.
yes.
Well deserved too. And
Yeah.
it's just not, I mean, we talked a lot about Penta here, rightfully so. But Chad Gable, it takes two to tango.
Yes.
He did an incredible job too. Their styles really meshed well together.
Yeah.
You could like the mat stuff. They were going tit for tat.
Yeah.
On the mat.
Well,
it was
and
nice.
even like the more acrobatic-y stuff, you know, because like obviously when you're a luchador, like you're more
you're acrobatic.
Yes,
you're gonna be a high flyer.
And Gable is more, like you said, on the mat, technical type of guy. So when you think about those, like you compare them on paper, you're like, this isn't going to work. But I think Gable's size and then, of course, like his athleticism and his experience made that match as good as it was. Because there's plenty of matches that you can look back on and watch again in the future where there's a luchador in the ring and whoever they're wrestling can't hang, so you can't like they might not be bad wrestlers, but they can't hang with that style. And so like I think he was the perfect first opponent for us to really see what Penta can do.
Oh, that move, the move that stood out to me other than the finish was it was outside the ring. Yeah, the head scissors beforehand though. Like the transition from that into the Mexican Destroyer was phenomenal. And then I do like how he got essentially the win with the signature and finisher. So we know, so WWE fans know, okay, these are his finishers. These are his moves where you know, all right, he's going for it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of questions right now because obviously he made his name on the indies. The package pile driver is very much in play.
Yeah.
You know, that's not a banned move. And he has a couple other ones I forget that probably wouldn't fly in the Fed. So, you know, it was nice to see the sacrifice. I think that's going to be one that's nasty. That looked like it fucking hurt. And then what was the last one? It was that, and then oh, why am I blanking on it, Sarah?
I don't know.
That's tough.
But anyway, I do like that they're allowing him to be himself. I mean, you could even do that, like you could mention that with the interview post match. They let him talk as long as he wanted to talk. They let him speak Spanish, which that is not something that Vince would love, especially for how
Spanish.
That much. Yes. He was okay with Spanglish, but let's not forget, like
you got to throw buzzwords.
Sin Cara was basically fired for, I mean, multiple things, but part of it was because he didn't speak much English. So it's like, let's, you know, so that was pretty cool too. And it was cool that as much as I didn't agree with WWE Shop, like leaking Penta merchandise before.
That was insane. I thought that was a troll.
I did too.
I thought that was a troll.
There were people in the audience in Penta masks. So I do think that was pretty cool.
Boom. Then that's where, there it is. We just answered our own question. That's exactly
so that was the reason why I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Because that must have been pretty cool for him to see in his debut match. Like there are people who paid $70-something to get your mask already, 75. And they haven't even seen you yet. Like that's pretty cool.
I want one. I low key want one.
A mask? Is that what you saying?
Yeah, I want a Penta mask. Like if I'm gonna get one,
it is pretty cool. It'd get cool to get signed and to have displayed. You know, Marcus says it was dope. There were 5 stars. I would say, or he gave 6 stars. I think Nathaniel hopes that he does well. I hope so too. Alonzo says he looked like a superstar. 100%. They really did. He looked awesome. incredible debut all around. Sometimes debuts aren't great, but the fact that they actually gave this match time and they let him, like I said, be himself. It wasn't like, oh, we're going to get the WWE version of what he is. That was cool.
Mhm.